Hello, thank you for coming back to my kitchen. You are very welcome as always. Today I am making sausage rolls and I want to show you because they're vegetarian sausage rolls. This is the vegetarian sausages that I use. I've been using them for years. So they are the Cauldron Lincolnshire sausages and the weight for them is 276 grams. Now these sausage rolls, you can use any sausage you want. So if you're a vegetarian and you have another type of vegetarian sausage, use your favorite sausage. If you're not a vegetarian, then use pork sausages, use chicken sausages, anything you like. It will cook the same and it will be delicious because we all like a sausage roll at Christmas. So we'll get straight on into it. So first of all, we need to make the pastry. So I'm going to put 8 ounces or 225 grams of flour in my bowl, and that needs to be sieved. So next, onto the flour, we just want to put into the bowl just a pinch of salt. And into the bowl needs to go 4 ounces or 100 grams of very cold butter. This is straight out of the fridge. So just cut all this pastry with the knife into the flour. Smaller pieces as possible, because as soon as we put our hands in, the pastry is going to get, well, the butter's going to warm up. And that's what we're trying to avoid. There. I think that's as small as I'm going to get. And we need to go in with our hands and just rub the butter into the flour. You know it's done when there's not the powdery flour any left. It's all granular. That's the only way I can describe it. That's why they say like fine breadcrumbs. So I've got no flour left in there, no powdery flour bits, but I do have a few little bits of butter, so I'll just try and rub those bits in. There. And that's just about perfect. So now we just need to make a little well in this mixture, and in my jug I have very cold water, and we'll just pour a little water in and give it a mix with the knife. Now, depending on the temperature of your kitchen will depend on how much water you pour in, so just do a little at a time and a mix. Once it gets clumpy, we'll go in with our hands. Nearly there, just a tiny bit more water. That should be enough, that will come together. Pull my sleeve up slightly and just push all this together in the bowl till it forms a nice dough. I'm going to wipe around the edges to get it all there. That's perfect. That's just what we need. Now this is going to need to go in the fridge for about half an hour to get cooler, so I'm going to put it in cling film. Oh, that's the end of my cling film. Goodness me. I have got more, but that will be just enough for what we want today. Now because we want this, when we roll out our sausage rolls, let me move it over for you so you can see. There, that's better. Because we want this in a square to roll out for our sausage rolls, just get it started by pushing it square or an oblong. There, then that will roll out into the required shape. Just wrap it up and that will go into the fridge for half an hour. So my pastry's been in the fridge now for half an hour. I've just put my oven on, so that's 190 degrees Celsius or 375 degrees Fahrenheit, and I have just greased a baking sheet, or you can line a baking sheet with greaseproof paper. It's entirely up to you. And I'll just go and get my pastry out of the fridge. I'm going to flour the worktop. Take my pastry out of the cling film. There, that's perfect. We just need to roll this out into a square, really, or an oblong. So keep moving the pastry on your board or your worktop, whatever you're rolling on, because we don't want it to stick underneath. We do need to get it as square as possible. I'm just going to put a little more flour underneath. You can see by making that square before you put the pastry into the fridge, it keeps its shape. Nearly there. You don't want it too thick though. That's about right. So now we need to go over to the other side of the kitchen and get the sausages ready. I can't do them here because the worktop is covered in flour, so I'm going to have to take you from one side of the kitchen to the other, unfortunately. So I've opened my pack of sausages. You get a piece of cling film. If you're using pork sausages or sausage with skin, take the skin off. And if you put your sausage in there, this stops your hands getting mucky. And just roll it up into the cling film and squish your sausage out to about double the size. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. And roll it so it's even, and then you can get your, that's not double the size yet, not double the size, and we're nearly there. I would say that was right. So with that rolled, we just take it out of the cling film. See how this isn't messy, and when you just push it like that, and we take this piece of cling film back and roll the next one. So put the sausage in, try and pull some of the sausage meat out. Don't forget, if they are pork or anything else and they have skins, take the skin off first. You can just cut that with scissors, that'll come off easy. And then roll it. And check the size against your, oh, very nearly there. And this way, all your sausages will be the same, and they'll all cook evenly, and you don't get all that horrible sausage meat all over your hands. There, that's double the size. Take you back over to the pastry and just take this one out too, and reuse that piece of cling film. So if you move one sausage down and just line up that piece, I'm just going to chop that little piece off the end because that can go in the next one. We don't want to waste that. And what we need to do, in this jug I have 1 beaten egg, so we'll just paint a line of egg down there and paint a line of egg down there. I'm just going to squish this join up a bit, and then you just take the side and move it over, and there we have our sausage rolls. Move that little bit over a bit more and just cut down. Tidy these edges up because you'll be going in for more sausage rolls. So you don't want those edges like that. There, those bits can just be thrown away. And now you need to do is take the end off. I'll take this end off. So look to see in the end here where your sausage meat is, and just take that end off to make a neat end. And I'll just do the other end. And then decide how big you want your sausage rolls. I mean, that's up to you, that's personal preference. You could do tiny little bite-sized ones. I'm going to do ones that I can have a meal out of. So I'll probably do this into 4, this big long one. So 1, 4. And I'll just place these on my baking tray. And I'll go back and do the rest of the sausage rolls the same. I've done these sausage rolls exactly the same as I did the first lot. Let's just tip them out. This is such a great method because you don't get those horrible messy hands, because whether you're using vegetarian sausages or meat-based sausages, they are a bit mucky when you're handling them. So line them up again, paint down the sides. Oh, I'm just going to move those over slightly because I think I've got them a bit too far away from the edge. There, that's probably a bit better. So paint down this side too. And just pick up this and fold it over. Cut down here. Take these bits of pastry off. These can be thrown because you'll be wanting to use this edge again for the next sausage rolls. And tidy the edges up and cut into however many sausage rolls you want. Of course, if you're having them for a buffet or something, you'll want little ones, little mouth-sized ones like that. But these are for, as I said before, for meals and need to be large. I'm just putting these on my baking tray again. So I'll just carry on making the rest of the sausages. Once you've filled your baking tray with sausage rolls, we just need to press down with the thumb and kind of cut into the side of the pastry, and that seals the edge. And I've got 9 on this baking sheet, but I've got 3 left, so I made 12 out of this, but they are large ones. Then I just go in and give them a snip with my scissors. It just makes them look a bit, I don't know, more professional. Always done it. There, and then we just paint them with the rest of the egg. Give them a nice egg wash so they'll come out looking golden. There, and they'll go into the oven for approximately 15 to 20 minutes. But that all depends what size you've made them, you see. So we'll just need to keep an eye on them. There. So my sausage rolls have just had 15 minutes and they look done to me. Look, don't they look beautiful? So as I said, they've had 15 minutes, but if you make smaller ones, they will take slightly less time, but you want them looking this golden brown. Yours will probably come off easier than this. I had a bit of a problem with the camera, unfortunately. So I've got 3 left to cook, and I will grease the baking tray again. So don't forget, if you've got any left, grease your baking tray with butter, whatever you greased it with in the first place, and they'll go in for the same amount of time. So that's my next batch done. We'll get them out the oven for you. Oh, don't they look nice? Yeah, so that's 12 altogether. And as you can see, these ones are coming off a little easier, so make sure you get them off the baking tray as soon as they're out the oven. Unfortunately, I couldn't do that with the others. As I said, I had a problem with the camera. So, oh, delicious. Enjoy. These sausage rolls are just as delicious served hot or cold, and you can make them ahead of time as they freeze very well. Next week I'm going to be making my mushroom Christmas stuffing, so please subscribe so you don't miss that.